Hey guys, good afternoon, good morning, grand rising, all those beautiful things. So I took some time to just regroup about what happened on Monday. Today is Thursday, so I've had a couple of days to just, regroup and process. The day that it happened, I was in shock. It's kind of, frozen in time in a sense. And then later on, I kind of stayed that way. And then I got emotional. And then I cried. And all those things. And I was kind of hard on myself because I felt like I should just be able to pick myself up and just keep going along with life. But it doesn't work that way sometimes. And so on Tuesday, I reached out to my therapist. I haven't been in therapy in I don't know, almost maybe a year, maybe going on a year. So when that happened, it kind of brought back some trauma, some grief, some anxiety, some sort of guilt, in a sense. So it just brought a range of emotions, and plus I already had some things of my own already going on that was pushing me over the edge a little bit. So I was just processing and working through and trying to keep through my steps. The steps that I usually use to keep myself cool, calm, and collected. So I kind of didn't use them. They kind of went out the window. But now I'm back. I had to process, regroup, purge, cry, go through all the motions. And one thing that I didn't mention during everything that happened, prior to me starting to do Lyft that day, I had ran some errands with my nephew, and then, I call him my nephew's son. And I dropped him off and then went to do my gratitude. And once I did we did my Monday motivation or whatever we did with the cars, this self-stress relief, right? So we did that, and then right after I did that, I tried to log on to do Uber. Now, I logged on to do Uber several different times. I uninstalled the app. I installed the app. It asked me to take a picture to verify myself, which it only does that ever so often. I updated the app. I did everything so that I could actually work on that app instead of doing Lyft, because I was I need to stay at a certain level because Uber will pay for you to go to college. So I really want to go and take this not social work, but I want to do basically psychology. So, and be a clinical licensed therapist or a social counselor, something of sort. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So when I was trying to do that and log on, I just said, I wound up saying forget it and logged into Lyft to do Lyft. She wasn't my first trip. She was actually my second trip. So when I sit back and I think about it, and I'm just God needed me. I always tell God to use me however he sees fit when I start my day. That's why I don't have a set schedule on things, because I work off of God. I don't work on nobody else's time. I work based off God. And when I'm not trying to preach, but when you tell God, or you just basically establish a foundation with him and establish a relationship with him, and a sense of trust, because that's the problem. Everyone talks about God, but they don't trust God. They don't believe God because you can't see him. but you can feel him. And you know when he's telling you to do something. And you know when he's not telling you to do something. You know when it's your will, or you know when it's his will. Right? And so, because I decided, if you give me the desires in my heart of going to school and doing hair, he gave me that desire. He gave that to me. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I was called to do. It never died. So I've given him the ability to have control over my whole entire life. Order my steps. Do what you see fit needs to be done in your will. And I stand on that when it comes to my relationship with God. I stand on it. So when he tells me to move, when he tells me to do certain things, I do those based off him. So when my app didn't work, I got frustrated because I really wanted to do Uber. And it was about what I wanted to do and not about what God wanted me to do. And even that day, I had said, God, order my steps. Everything is in your will. I'm going to do whatever it is that you will me to do today. And so I did Lyft. And my second trip, I saved that girl's life. And I go back over and over and over and over it in my mind. And even though I don't want to say that I'm a hero and that I saved somebody's life, but I did. And after just yesterday, like, I realized, like, and after talking to my therapist, I realized, like, my calling, by me allowing God to have his way in my life, is so much bigger than what it is. It's so much bigger than me. And I just needed time to process that before I made any other moves, any other sudden decisions, anything. I needed to process what happened on Monday. I needed to process that God used me to save that girl's life. He needed me in that moment. I allowed him to use me in that moment because I told him to order my steps. So when you allow him to use you, and you allow him, and you allow yourself to be used, there's no telling how he's going to use you and when he's going to call you to be used. And that's what that allowed me to see. And that's what that allowed me to realize. And that's what that allowed me to realize, was that I allowed him to use me. And he did. So I will be on here this evening, and we will be going over my book, Healing the Past and Loving the Present, and how your childhood relationships affect your adult relationships. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do that this evening. Probably about, I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm going to be on all platforms. I'm going to be recording from my iPad, my phone, and my laptop. So this can be communicated with everyone throughout. All right, that's my soapbox for today. And I will talk to y'all later.